Hello again. Thank you again for being a part of the newsletter. I hope you enjoyed these exclusive videos. Obviously, you can share them with your friends if you want to. They're not like locked or anything like that, but you can't search for them on YouTube and you have to know the link, like the one that I included in the mailing list video? No, the mailing list email. But you can share this with your friends if you want, if you find it helpful. So in the first video, talking about the videos here on YouTube and vowel alignment and critical listening. The first video I said that in the second video we were going to talk about songs and how the information on the YouTube channel can be applied not only to make your voice, just generally speaking, technically more proficient, but to help your singing, help your songs, your repertoire. And so we're going to talk about that here. It is still within the context of critical listening, so you have to listen carefully to what it is you are singing. Now, that can be difficult to do in real time, so even the most basic of recordings can be very, very helpful in that regard. And I'm just saying, like, your just average mobile device or phone, I'm pretty sure, like, even things that aren't like technically phones, like an iPad or a Kindle Fire, I'm pretty sure that they can do recordings as well. No, it is not going to be a high fidelity representation of your voice, but in listening to it, you'll still be able to hear and discern the differences in vowels. And those differences in vowels are really, really critical when you are singing a song because it directly impacts not only your intelligibility, which is to say how easy it is to understand what you are singing, but also your ability to perform in certain ranges. For some songs, this will be more imperative than others. Case in point, here I stand, hand in hand, turn my face to the wall. That's all very comfortable thyroarytenoid dominant singing voice for me. Some might say speech level. So, right there in a very, very comfortable part of my range. If I have good vowel alignment, then I'm easy to understand and my voice comes across nice and resonant. If I don't have good vowel alignment, for example, let's take the word stand, okay? A somewhat amorphic vowel. Let's suppose for a moment that my vowel when I sing this exercise, instead of being in alignment, is more like it's quite likely that the word stand in the phrase won't sound quite right. Here I stand, head in hand. And that would be another case where I would probably have problems with the vowel on hand, also because there's an H on the front end of the exercise. You will find videos on the channel that have an H in front of each of the vowel syllables. This is not only to prevent you from doing a glottal attack, but it's also to help you come to an understanding of how an H can separate the vocal fold and impair or really, really be difficult with the vowel that comes after, and really make it hard to sing the vowel that comes right afterwards. And so we learn to sing those H's so that we go straight to the vowel, and the H is no longer going to separate the vocal folds to such a deleterious degree and impede our phonation. That being said, that's all still in a very comfortable range for me. What happens when the song goes into a range that is much more difficult? I had the pleasure of working on Fell on Black Days with a client of mine. And in the verses of this song, it transits over the secondo passaggio, whether you're a male tenor or baritone. First time it does it, The lyrics are, seemed to greet me with a smile. In this particular melody, in many respects, it's quite favorable for us. Seemed to greet me with a smile. It's got narrow vowels leading up to the secondo passaggio. Seem to greet. Over onto the G natural. Me. The E vowel, so long as we make a bit of a modification, works quite well for us. And smile, if we modify it towards an A vowel, works quite well to get us both onto the pitch, which is an A natural above middle C, and then down to the E natural below it. But all of those things, knowing when to modify a vowel, how to modify it, knowing when vowels are best to be kept narrow, which in this case we're doing that as we approach the secondo passaggio, and we're also being very conscious of our volume. All of these concepts are built into the exercises on the channel. So for example, there is an endurance video, and I believe it's called Endurance in the Mixed Voice, or Endurance for Mixed Range Singing, or Endurance for Mixed Voice. And in that video, one of the directions is to be very flexible in how you use your dynamics, so that when you're approaching the secondo passaggio, it's narrow, wide, narrow. That kind of dynamic framework where we're less on the bottom and we allow for crescendo or getting louder as we ascend works very well with the requirements of engagement subglottic air pressure that we need to successfully get over the secondo passaggio. So when we come back to Fell on Better Days, seem to greet, start light, crescendo, seem to greet me with a smile, going for the A natural, making sure that we're maintaining good subglottic pressure and engagement. We get to the vowel and we stay in the vowel. The interval exercises on the channel talk a lot about staying in the vowel and also maintaining the connection between the two, so that when you're singing like a perfect fifth, the temptation is often to pause and then start to sing the note. The thing is the vocal fold functions far better when the airflow is as consistent as we can make it. So we build that practice into our technique using the vocalizations. And then, and this is also where the critical listening comes into play, if it hasn't been a habit yet when we come to the song, then we look at the melody identify that there is a big skip there, know that we want to maintain that airflow, perhaps go back to one of the interval studies videos to practice it, and then come back here. Taking it a step further, you can also take the vowels from the phrase. The second time that this phrase occurs, the melody, it's a little bit different, but I can't see it in the night. And while the night is very similar to the vowel from the first phrase, here in the run-up to it, we have but I can't. And those vowels are not nearly so conducive towards staying narrow and light as we approach the secondo passaggio. So here again, our technique from the videos comes into play, identifying those vowels, hearing where we are in our range, and learning to sing that, but I can, but I can, so that it's narrow, it opens up, but I can't see it in the night, so that we get the good transition across the secondo passaggio again, and we get a good overall phrase. That is the goal of all of these technical videos, because there's so many different songs, and there's so many different people, I could really keep on making warm-up videos indefinitely, because every individual person will have different individual strengths and areas that are challenging, and different combinations of vowels in different areas of the voice are going to address those struggles. In context of the songs that you are singing, finding the warm-up that addresses the difficulties that you're having. So for example, here it may be something as foundational as crossing the secondo passaggio, going to the videos where you have practice establishing good control over the secondo passaggio is appropriate. Maybe it's having the right balance of your vowels in the zona di passaggio. Go to those videos on mix range and singing in the zona di passaggio and full range warm-ups. Maybe it's going all the way back to the Beatles tune that I sang, chest voice phonation. Go back to the basic warm-ups. Even some of the beginner exercises are really appropriate towards getting good balanced vowels, and then moving on to the standard warm-ups where they're more connected, they're more legato, melismatic, and that is more similar to singing a song. All of these things work together to help us make our songs as good as they can possibly be, and to help us continue to grow again and again and again. That's the goal here, so that we can keep on getting better and better and better, and listening more and more acutely to how we are singing, and then going back and addressing those issues and getting more and more, hopefully, joy out of singing our scales, singing our songs, singing whatever it is that you love to sing. That's what's going on. I hope this helps. If you got questions or comments, the comments section is right below. Thank you again for being a part of the newsletter. I've got another video coming out in just a day that you'll get a chance to look at, and I'll be introducing you to my new revision of my guidebook, and talk to you a little bit about that and how it can help to facilitate your discovery of the appropriate videos, and also deal with my recommendations in it and some sequences that I've included and stuff like that. So I'll talk to you again in a day or so. Thank you. Bye.